giving people the tools to make self-defense a last resort. And Tony Robinson is chief instructor at AR Krav Maga self-defense training, who is running courses especially for women, and joins me now. Tony, morning.
Morning. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And I think, as I just said there, self-defense really, it's the final bit of this process, isn't it?
It is indeed. When you talk about self-defense has a huge range of skills, and we talk about self-defense being avoidance, being able to de-escalate, prevent things from happening. And most people think self-defense being the skills at the end, the techniques that you do when everything else has failed. So yeah, self-defense covers a massive array of different skills, shall we say.
And it feels sad that you have to be running these courses, but I suppose it's kind of about building self-confidence. And as you say, it's almost like a toolkit, isn't it? It's a toolkit of different things to use if you are faced with a situation you don't really want to be in.
It's exactly that. It's exactly what it is. It's having that confidence. And we teach the courses that we teach from a predator's perspective. So if I was going to do a crime or do some sort of deed, shall we say, how would I do it? So therefore, we teach our students to understand the predator's mind. And if I was going to attack somebody, I would look for somebody in the wrong place, who doesn't look confident, who is in a different place in the dark or whatever. So we teach people to understand it from a predator's point of view, and that way we can better understand how to defend ourselves and how to protect ourselves.
So what exactly is Krav Maga? I think it's something we've probably seen on posters and we've probably sort of read it about it. But what actually is it?
So Krav Maga stands for contact combat, and it's a Israeli self-defense system, first developed for the Israeli sort of military, but then, should we say, civilianized, so civilians can learn the basics. And the whole concept is built on natural reaction. So we don't teach anything necessarily new. If someone shouted really loud, you would probably flinch and put your hands up. So we developed, so Krav Maga is really based on natural reactions rather than a set of skills that you teach from scratch. So it's very easy to learn, built on those natural reactions, and most people pick it up very easily.
So what made you start to run these courses? Especially the ones for women. So what was the idea behind this?
I guess we want to do something about it. You often hear on the news, people didn't know, they wish they were equipped with some skills. If I had only known this, I could have done that. So we're not sort of great fans of bullies, so we like to kind of empower people and give them the confidence to defend themselves. And if you think about all the skills you learn in life, that self-defense skill isn't very often on the list. You might learn some swimming, you might learn this, that, and the other, but self-defense isn't on the list. So we decided to put some courses together, standalone courses. They come along, do the course, and at the end of it, they've got some basic tools. And if they can avoid the fight or the altercation in the first place and never have to use the skills, then we've achieved our aim.
And I think there's something, and I think empowerment is the word here. There's something about, being able to do, and I think it's often with the physical thing. I love to lift weights. I love that feeling when in that moment you do feel strong, you feel in control, and you do feel empowered. And it must be such a transformation you see in the women that come to you that do this.
Yeah, definitely. You can always tell those that have done something in the past and how they carry themselves, but certainly seeing people who walk a little bit taller, have the confidence to project their voice in a situation, the confidence to say no, the confidence to put their hands up and create space and maintain that kind of space, if you like. Once they've got that confidence, it then moves on to other things in life. If you've got confidence in yourself, you can be confident in all walks of life. So, yeah, seeing people who kind of stick their head round the door thinking, oh my God, what am I doing here, to walking out confidence, yeah, that's a great feeling.
And I think, it's hard, isn't it? Because it's a sad state of affairs, really, that the emphasis is still on us to kind of learn these skills. This shouldn't be happening at all, should it? It's really frustrating. But actually, to be equipped, it is important, isn't it?
It is. And do you know what? I would love to say there will be a time where you don't need to learn these things, but I think it's going to be a long time before you can boldly go where you like, be where you act how you like. So having the skills is really just something to have in your pocket if you need them, if you need to have those skills. So it is a shame, and we truly believe that you shouldn't have to. No one should have to. But until we kind of live in a life and a society where that changes, it makes sense to have some of those skills and understanding.
So what would you learn on the course? What are some of the things that you might get out of this?
So we teach 99% of self-defense situations generally can be avoidable. So that's a massive. So 1% is the technical, so what to do if. So we spend a lot of time talking about avoidance. So avoidance means like avoiding places. So for example, and if you was to go out on a Friday night on payday, you would expect there probably to be some trouble in town. So avoiding places where trouble would be. So we talk about avoidance. We talk about de-escalation. So de-escalation being the talk down. So if something is about to happen, are you able to put your hands up, say sorry, apologize, I knocked your drink over, whatever it may be, to try and talk it down. We then look at prevention. So if none of that has worked and somebody's trying to perhaps grab hold of you, can we deflect the hand away? If someone tries to grab your hair, can you block that move? So talking about prevention. And then the last part, when that was all kind of failed, oh my God, I'm in this situation. Someone's got their hands on my throat or their hands on my head, whatever it may be, dealing with some basic techniques to kind of get out of those awful situations and then get to a safe place. Apply first aid if you have to, and just that kind of end result where you may get hurt, but the level of hurtness, if there's such a word, is certainly reduced by having these basic skills.
And what's been some of the reactions from the women that you've worked with? What have been some of their experiences and stories and what they've got out of this?
Well, it's funny you say that. We recently released some testimonials that we did from our ladies who comes to our classes, and that's on our Facebook page and our website. And you know, you think you're teaching one thing to solve one problem, but it's amazing how many different things they come out with as a response for what we learn. So some of them have more confidence in the workplace. Some of them have more confidence to just be able to say no. Some people have the confidence to be able to just walk away. It's just everybody gains something from it, and that's what we like about it. Although we have our planned agenda, everybody's journey through the courses and what they get out of it is different.
And if there's one thing we could take away from you today, I mean, hopefully, touch wood, you know, we're not going to be in any situations over the week. But if there's one thing we could take from this, what would be your best bit of advice?
Learn some self-defense skills. I could sit here and go, learn this technique or learn this one part, but that would be failing you. And we're not kind of in the business of education. So learn some basic courses, like a first aid, right? We all hope we wouldn't have to use first aid, but those that do a basic first aid course, where it be workplace one, those with the basic skills have a better understanding, can deal with situations. So do some sort of form of self-defense, whatever it may be, just so you have that little bit of knowledge to know how to sort of avoid, prevent, de-escalate, and if you have to, the techniques at the end. So learn some courses. Be equipped like you would do if you'd learn swimming. You'd learn to swim just in case.
So where do you run these, and how can people find out a bit more?
So we've got a bespoke training centre in Norwich, which is in the Helsdon training estate. We've got a website, am I allowed to say it?
Of course you are, of course.
Yep. So that's arkravmaga.co.uk. So we run women's-only classes on a Wednesday evening here in Norwich. We've also got a 6-week self-defense course specifically for women that we're running in Wyndham shortly. So we're taking bookings for that. And what we're hoping from that is that if that is successful as we hope it's going to be, we're then going to start some women-only classes in Wyndham too on a Monday evening. So we're working between sort of Norwich on a Wednesday and Mondays in Wyndham.
Oh, it's fab stuff you're doing, Tony. Really appreciate you coming on this morning. Tony Robinson from AR Krav Maga Self-Defense Training. And